Hi guys, welcome back to Sweet Bay Lane. Or if you're new, welcome. I'm Tracy, and I'm so glad you stopped in to craft with us because, as some of you know, I love adding lighting to my DIY projects, so much so that I've created a playlist. I'll have that linked in the description box below if you missed any of the other projects. And this project will definitely be added to that list, and I couldn't wait to share it with my crafting friends. So let's go ahead and get started. Here are just a few of the supplies we'll be using for this DIY project, but to begin with, we're going to start with this little mini fishbowl style vase that can be found at the Dollar Tree. Our first step is going to be prepping the outside of the vase for frosting, and to do that, just make sure it's really clean with a glass cleaner. And once that's done, we'll move on to frosting, and to do that, we're going to be using this frosted glass by Rust-Oleum. Once we have our vase frosted, we then move on to our next step, and that's going to be introducing this black candlestick that you can purchase at the Dollar Tree. We're going to be attaching it with some construction adhesive. The Gorilla Glue brand is the best in my opinion, and we're going to be just attaching it to the side of our frosted vase as I'm showing you here. You want to make sure that the open side of the vase is facing out to the side. And once that's done, you'll just tape your vase into place on the candlestick just to make sure it doesn't slide around, and then you'll set it aside to dry. While our vase and candlestick are drying, we're then going to move on to our next step in this project, and that's going to be preparing this wood plaque from the Dollar Tree. I start by just removing the sticker and then just sanding down the rough edges. And once that's done, I'm going to be painting mine a base coat of light taupe and then accenting it with some black acrylic paint. Now this is where you can get creative, and you can use whatever colors or stain that you prefer. And once you have your base painted, you'll then just come in with your favorite stencil. I'm going to be using this one I found at the Dollar Tree, and I thought it would fit my project perfectly. I start by lining my stencil up, and then I just tape down the edges and begin to stencil with some black acrylic paint and a makeup sponge. And once you're done, you'll just remove your stencil, and as you'll see, there's a little bit of spillover from the design and stenciling, but that really doesn't matter in this process because now we're going to come in and we're going to dry brush our plaque, the edges and over the design. And once we have our project stenciled and dry brushed, we then come in with a little bit of sandpaper and just distress the edges, and then I like to go over the top of the design. It kind of helps mute that black dry brushing. Once I've gotten all the sanding dust off of my plaque, I then come in and I spray it with a couple coats of this Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel. And while our clear coat enamel is drying, we then move on to the next step, and that's going to be spray painting this lid black. Now I'm going to be using the jar in another DIY, but I didn't need the lid, so I wanted to use it and put it to good use. So we're going to be spraying it with some Color Shot Blackout in matte, and I have to tell you, this spray paint is amazing. And we're going to spray paint the lid inside and out. Okay, once we have our lid spray painted black, we bring back in our candlestick and vase. What we want to do in this step is we're going to attach our black lid to the bottom side of our frosted vase. And to do that, you'll just bring back in your construction adhesive and put a little kind of ice cream cone dollop in the center. And then just press it down on the bottom side of the vase. Okay, now that we have our lid glued down, we set that aside to dry and we move back to our wooden plaque. This step is quite easy. We're just going to be adding a sawtooth hanger. You just find the center of your board and attach your sawtooth hanger. But in this instance, I'm going to be adding another step, and that's going to be adding some construction adhesive to the ends where the nails will go, just for a little bit of extra strength. Okay, once that step's done, we flip our plaque over and we bring back in our vase and candlestick. Now for this step, we want to attach our base of our candlestick to our plaque. And to do that, you just take your construction adhesive and run it along the edge, bottom edge of the candlestick as I'm showing you here, kind of like icing a cake in a way. And once that's done, you might have some little edges hanging over of the adhesive, and that's where you'll come in and just clean them up before you attach it to the plaque. Now that our project has dried completely, we're then going to introduce these LED puck lights from Walmart. They're actually remote control, battery operated, and they are really fantastic. I had an extra one left over from other projects that I have done. If you haven't yet seen those projects, I'll have a playlist link below in the description box. But we're going to take this puck light and we're going to attach it with the construction adhesive to the inside of our frosted vase, as I'm showing you here. Now, I've also had questions in my other videos of how you change the batteries once you attach the base to your object. And that's quite simple. The top part of the puck light just twists off and the base stays permanent. And then you just change your batteries and then attach it back to the permanent base. And once everything's dried, you'll reveal a beautiful wall sconce. And since the wall sconce has a little bit of weight to it, I like to use these wallboard anchors or a heavy-duty picture hanger, which is what I'm going to be using to hang mine. I love how this project turned out, and it was so much fun to make. I also love the little remote that comes with those puck lights. It's so much fun and has so many brilliant, beautiful colors. I just love it so much. Here's a little bit of footage of it lit up, but I do have some bonus footage for those who want to see it towards the end of the video. Well, that wraps it up for this DIY project, and I think it turned out quite adorable. I hope it inspires you to make one of your own. I also have to take a minute and thank all of my subscribers for your kind comments and your support. It means the world to me. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Sweet Bay Lane, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we would love to have you here. Well, until next week, happy crafting!